Hey, Star Wars action figure collectors, this is Darth Phoenix 619 coming at you with my 200th video, and this is going to be my Q&A. It's amazing to reach such a milestone. It's been a little bit over a year, and to reach 200 videos, that's just great. And thank you so much for the continued support, and I really appreciate those who left some questions for me for this Q&A video. So without further ado, let's go ahead and begin. I don't want this video to drag on for more than 20 minutes. Okay, so let's go ahead. Now I have questions over here and props over there, so I'll be kind of looking all over the place. This is like my second time in front of the camera, so I'm still getting a little used to it. So let's go ahead and begin. First, we have E the Angel or Thangel 2220. Not quite sure how you pronounce your name. I don't think I've ever heard you say your name in your videos, so I apologize if I butchered it. But he asks, "Who are you and what are you doing here?" Well, I'm Darth Phoenix 619, Tony, as most of you know me by. And I'm here on the YouTube community because I enjoy Star Wars. I have a passion for collecting, and I like sharing that interest with others who have the same passion as I do. So there you go. Next, we have Scabcat242. What is one thing you would like to see improved in modern Star Wars figures? And there's two things I would like to see improved. First of all, distribution. Most of us, if not all of us, are very disappointed with distribution, especially last year. Horrible distribution. And I just hope it improves. I mean, it doesn't look like it's going to. It hasn't gotten any better this year. I am seeing a few figures I didn't see last year on peg, so there's a little ray of hope. But we'll see what the year brings when the Black Series comes out. And then the other thing I would like to see improved is some more variation in characters. I understand why we need to see the same characters all the time: Luke, Leia, Han, Darth Maul, clones. That's what's popular. It's what people like. It's the mainstays of the Star Wars universe. But new characters, are highly in demand too. Look at Malgus or Shea Vizsla or Star Killer or the Republic Trooper. New characters that are highly sought after, that go for ridiculous prices online. So collectors will buy them, and so will the non-collector, like kids or whatnot. They like those figures too. So I would like to see some more variety and some new characters being brought into the toy line. All right. Next questions are from filmmaker Mike Fan. Other than Star Wars, what else do you collect? I collect Lego Star Wars, Marvel Universe figures, the 3 3/4 inch line, Transformers Prime, mainly just the main characters seen in the show. I also collect various sources of media such as video games, music, and movies. So that's pretty much everything. And Galactic File trading cards is another thing that I've been collecting recently. And that's about it. How many Star Wars figures do you currently have in your collection? I have a little bit over 300. So it's definitely been growing the last year and a half, 2 years. What's your favorite episode of the Clone Wars? My favorite episode of the Clone Wars is Bounty from season 4. This is the episode where Zaj Ventress becomes a bounty hunter. I like it for many reasons. I like the fact that we get to see some new characters being introduced. We see Dengar being introduced into the Clone Wars. Some really cool bounty hunters. We get to see Asajj Ventress develop. Basically, real quick, the plot is she's a bounty hunter. She signs up for a mission with Boba Fett's crew to deliver a package to this king. I forget what planet they're on, and just to see her character further develop. There's a big kind of turnaround for who she is and what she believes in the episode. So just amazing show, great action. Just really like that show a lot. Next question: what Star Wars figures are you most excited for this year? I'm excited for, in the Black Series, the 3 3/4 inch. I'm excited for Mara Jade, Pablo Jill, and Luminara Unduli. She's long overdue for an update. She's my favorite Jedi, so I'm really excited to see an update of her. And I'm really looking forward to the 6-inch Maul and the Sand Trooper also. MK Films 2009 asks, have you ever thought about collecting the older stuff, i.e. Marvel Star Wars 1975-85 action figures, carded or loose? I am slightly interested in the Kenner line from back in '78. Uh, don't know yet. Be interesting to pick up a few figures loose and kind of see where it goes from there. So we'll see. Excuse me. Darth Sedge 78, hope I pronounced that one right, asks, what got you into collecting? I've been a collector pretty much my entire life. When I was a kid, I used to go landscaping with my father. He'd give me about a couple bucks, and with that, I'd save up and buy Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles action figures. I love those things. I had about 50 of those. I wish I still had them, but I don't, unfortunately. and I loved those action figures. Then I started getting into collecting into comic books and trading cards, and then in high school I got more into media like movies, television, and just pretty much been collecting all my life. There was a huge break, and then I just started up again 2 years ago with Star Wars action figures and Lego sets. So always been a huge collector. Who's your favorite Star Wars character? My all-time favorite would probably be Boba Fett. I was a huge, I am a huge Maul fan also. Once those movies were released, and recently Asajj Ventress. So it's kind of hard to pick between the three of them now. I mean, for long it was Boba Fett, but now it's kind of hard to say which one of those three is my top favorite. Favorite Star Wars film? Return of the Jedi. Loved it. Action packed. The finale to the saga. We could see Boba Fett in action. The speeder bike chasing, one of my favorite action sequences in all movies I've ever seen. It's just a fantastic, fun film. Last question from Darth Sedge. What is your opinion on the new films to be released? I'm excited. I cannot wait. We're getting more Star Wars. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I have hope. I know a lot of people have been disappointed with some of the decisions that Disney's been making recently. I understand that. But in regards to films, they've had some huge success, especially with the Avengers, with their animated films. J.J. Abrams is directing. That's a good sign. So I'm excited. I cannot wait. I'm a fan of the prequels, fan of the originals, so I'm excited. Boshek71 asks if you could choose any character to be made into figure, what would you like most to be made? There's quite a few, but I think the one that's really been sticking out of my head recently, the last few months, is Darth Malady. So this is Darth Malady from the Star Wars Legacy, and I just think that if we have Crate, we have Maul, why not have Darth Malady? So trying to center this. Great character design, awesome character. Would love to see her. Big into Sith character, so would also like to see Zion and Traya made into figures also, because we have Darth Nihilus. We need the other two to go along with them. Of course, these characters from Knights of the Old Republic. So it would also be cool to see some of the bounty hunters we've seen in the Clone Wars that have been made into figures yet, like Highslinger. He's one of my favorites. Would love to see him. Art Trooper Mark asks, what keeps you interested in collecting and what makes you disinterested? It's a hobby. It's an escape from reality. It's great to come home from a stressful day at work and indulge myself in the Star Wars universe. Especially being able to go toy hunting, distracting myself. It's just a great way for me to relax and have some fun. The love of Star Wars, the nostalgia trip behind it, the ability to display and impress people when they come over and ask about my collection. Really, just for me, it's just great to have it there, and the ability to share that interest of collecting with other people here on YouTube. I mean, that's one of the best things. What keeps me disinterested? Distribution, and the fact that we have to pay ridiculous prices for figures that we really want. So, that keeps me disinterested a little bit at times. RF Biker Scout, not a comic book related question, so I have some comic books here I'd like to share. His first question is, what am I currently reading? I'm currently reading Star Wars, which some of you know already. Great series. Issue 3. Beautiful art. Great storytelling. Really makes you feel like you're in a movie. Along with other recent Star Wars comics like The Ghost Prison, Dawn of the Jedi, Lost Tribe of the Sith. Quite a few out there that I've been really enjoying. A lot of DC, New 52, Red Hood and the Outlaws. Great book. Teen Titans. Really been enjoying that. And the Justice League. So really like the team books, especially DC. Let's see, what comic books have you read in the past? And I'm just going to tie this in with the next question, what is your comic book origin story? My best friend loved comics. He was really into Marvel and DC. So one time I went to the comic book shop and I got some trading cards, and they were the Jim Lee X Teams trading cards. I fell in love with the characters, the designs. I thought it was the coolest thing ever. I think it was in about 12 or so, maybe 11. It was back in 91. So I started picking up a lot of the X Teams books, so like X-Men, when Jim Lee took over and relaunched it with #1. X-Force by Rob Liefeld, another great book that I really enjoyed. X Factor, another X book. And of course, Uncanny X-Men, which relaunched with a new team on issue 281. Yeah, with Will Portacio drawing, if I remember correctly. So I really fell in love with the X books. In addition to the X books, I also read Spider-Man, mostly this series, with some other tie-ins. This one was done by Todd McFarlane, and I really enjoyed that series, especially when Eric Larson took over too for the art. So I really liked these books. Once a lot of the creators began leaving Marvel and going to Image, so I started reading a lot of the Image books like Youngblood, Rob Liefeld, Mark Silvestri, who did artwork for X-Men, Uncanny X-Men, Cyberforce, another one of my favorites, Jim Lee's Wildcats, another one. So I read a lot of Image books, and so I collected for about 3 or 4 years, and then just got to high school, my interests changed, and then last year, of course, AVX came out. Some of you know about this crossover, and this just kind of reignited my passion for collecting again. And of course, being a huge Star Wars fan, I really wanted to learn more about the expanded universe. So actually, I don't read too much Marvel now. It's too confusing, too much going on. So I like DC. I like DC more now. Thoughts on the Savage Dragon? Of course, Savage Dragon was another Image book created by Eric Larson, and I really liked Savage Dragon. Collected quite a few issues, and just like every other thing that I was reading at the time, I just stopped. So it'd be great to pick up some old Image issues for cheap. I tend to see them in 25-cent bins or 50-cent bins when I go to comic conventions. So I really liked Savage Dragon. So it's great to see that. It's great to know it's still continuing on. Next question, Mad Wilbur. I know you have a ton of 3 3/4 inch figures. What are your thoughts on the 6-inch line coming out? I'm excited. To me, prior to the announcement, I was thinking, why won't Hasbro release 6-inch figures for Star Wars? They could broaden their horizons, bring in a lot of different collectors and consumers who really enjoy Marvel Legends or the DC characters. So it just didn't make sense to me. So when they finally announced it, I was very happy. I was thinking it's about time. I think it's a great move on Hasbro's part. I'm excited for the 6-inch line. I can't wait to pick it up. Really want to get the entire wave, and we'll see how it goes. We'll see what they're like, and the articulation, the detail, and we'll see how it goes from there. But I'm really excited for that line. Next, we have Diabetic Hunt 87. What are your bearded dragons' name? I have two. One of them actually passed away. They were both seen in my room tour, and one of them recently passed away. It was named Gomez. He was the male. I still have the female. Her name is Bella. So I've had them for a long time. Have had them for about 10 years or so, and I got them from someone who had them for about 2 years. So, it was Gomez's time. And favorite band or metal band? Quite a few. My favorite band of all time is Soulfly. The lead singer, Massimiliano Caballero, used to sing for Sepultura. I'm also a huge Arch Enemy fan and Black Dahlia Murder fan, so really like heavy metal. Next, the New Yoda Jar Jar has 4 questions for me. First, if you could be any character in Star Wars universe, who would you be? I would love to be Embo from the Clone Wars series. He just seems like he enjoys what he does, and he's good at it. I would love to be in his shoes for one day. I mean, he's definitely one of my top favorite characters, but I wouldn't want to be as Tahaj or Maul because they've been through too much. I'd like to be Embo because he seems to be enjoying life to the fullest. Have you ever contemplated collecting even more than just Star Wars, Marvel, and Transformers? In addition to those lines in Lego, I mean, I really can't afford to collect anything else. It would be cool to collect Hot Wheels. Some of the DC 6-inch figures are really cool. Same thing with the Marvel Legends. But yeah, I just don't have the money for it or the space, and just can't afford to jump into another line. I'm happy with what I have. Are there any other sci-fi franchises besides Star Wars, Marvel, DC, and Transformers that you're into that we don't know about? I think some of you know about TMNT. I'm into Lord of the Rings. I'm into Harry Potter, the Percy Jackson books. Video game franchises like Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, Guilty Gear, Resident Evil. So yeah, I'm into a lot of different kinds of franchises. Star Trek, hate it or love it? Hate is a strong word. I'm going to say dislike it. I do not like Star Trek. Never got into it. Don't think I ever will. Alright, free video. When will you start posting videos on your Marvel channel? I do have a Marvel channel for some of you who don't know. It's called Archangel61911, and I was reviewing Marvel 3 3/4 inch figures on that channel. Haven't done so in quite a long time. It's really hard to keep up with both channels, with work and family and whatnot. So I've just dedicated my time to my Star Wars channel. Plus, there hasn't really been anything new being released in the Marvel universe. And maybe when I start seeing new figures again, I might start reviewing those on that channel again. That's why I haven't closed it. But I'll leave a link for those of you who are interested in checking it out. Excuse me. And the other question he has was, when we start showing us your face? Well, here you go. And I did make my second official appearance on a live stream for Lego Master Cole 583, whose birthday was last weekend, and made a quick appearance on that. And ScabCat242, we met up at a convention, and he got me on video also. So, but I know this is probably the first time for many of you seeing my face. Don't get used to it. I don't like being in front of the camera. Next, Star Wars Embo. What is your favorite Star Wars The Clone Wars episode? I already said that. Bounty. Character. I already mentioned that. Legos playset. I have that here. Allergies. Here we go. It's my ATAP. I love this set. Such an awesome looking set. There it is. So, I like that set. It was a fun build. And my favorite action figure, Starkiller. Love this figure. Amazing figure. I always rank him as #1 in my top favorite videos. And have you ever been to Star Wars Celebration? No, would love to go. It's on the other side of the country for me, so definitely would like to go one day. We'll see. Lego Master Cole 583 asks, what is my favorite Star Wars personal moment I've experienced? And that would be seeing A New Hope for the very first time when the special editions were released in theaters in '97. I went with my friend who was shocked at the fact that I had never seen a Star Wars movie. She wanted me to go with her, check it out. And of course, the rest is history. I loved it. Loved it, loved it, loved it. And finally, we have Star Wars fan Tommy. What got you into Star Wars? And that's basically what got me into Star Wars, the experience I just mentioned. Going to see the trilogy with my friend, and just that's what really got me into it. And then what got me into collecting, I'll mention in a second. Will you pass Star Wars on to your kid? I will try, but I won't force it down her throat. I mean, I'm going to show her the movies when she's a little bit older, and if she likes it, great. And if she doesn't, well, oh well. At least I tried. What is your favorite item in your collection? I would have to say probably the Starkiller figure I showed and the AT-AT. I mean, those are my two favorite things in my collection. What piece do you still want to get but probably will never get because they're so rare or expensive? Now, there are quite a couple pieces I would like to get that aren't that expensive. Do I want to pay the price for them? Maybe not. Exar Kun Illa Kill Drama is one pack that I really want. I just don't want to pay the $200 for it. I think it's ridiculous the price for 2 figures, so we'll see. Maybe I'll get lucky and run into it in a convention or something. It's more likely I won't see it and for a really good price, so we'll never know with that one. The other is the Lego Death Star set, which is $400, and that's not rare. I see it at Toys R Us. I mean, I'm sorry, the Lego store all the time online. It's $400, but it's reasonable because looking at a 4,000 piece set, which is huge, so I'd be willing to actually pay $400. It's just willing to put down that much money at one time. So we'll see. And then let's see, any happy memories from Star Wars? Of the movie experience with my friend, and then going to see Phantom Menace with my wife. Then at the time was my girlfriend, and being able to see the prequel trilogy with her. That's quite. I'll never forget going to movies to see Phantom Menace with her. It's when we first started dating. So very cool. Childhood memories, no, because I wasn't into Star Wars as a kid. And any items that have emotional value. This one, which is my Slave One, this was given to me by my wife almost a little bit over 2 years ago, and this is what got me into collecting Star Wars items. And she might not be happy that she did that. No, she is, but thanks to that set, it ignited a passion for collecting again. So, all right, you guys, I think that's it. So wanted to keep it under 20 minutes, and looks like I did. So I appreciate everything again that people have done for me in this year or so that I've been on YouTube, and I continue to be on here, make more videos, and just have that opportunity to share this interest with you guys. So can't wait for another 200 videos. So until next time, you guys, please rate, subscribe, like, comment, if you're seeing this for the first time, and may the Force be with you.